While I took a few days away, a new Chief Lugo interview dropped with our girl Katie Lusso from our CBS affiliate here. And he said a few surprising things about the search, namely that they haven't searched any bodies of water. Here's what he has to say about that.
Out that where they haven't searched yet are any bodies of water.
Tips we received, they believe that she's in a body of water. Just some statements made by Naresh and stuff in the past. I think when we look at some of these records and GPS records and stuff, knowing that we kind of look at those areas to see if that's an area that he possibly visited.
He went on to say that it's also a resource issue and that nearby jurisdictions who have larger search and rescue operations have been helping out, like Loudoun and Fairfax. But this feeds into a couple of things. Number one, this comment, which is somebody's reply on my last video as to why Naresh Bhatt has not yet been charged with homicide. This person said no evidence, unfortunately, and no body. And yes, no body is true, but I would disagree with the no evidence part. I've said before that I think they do have a really strong no body case here. But with him being denied bond twice, there's absolutely no benefit to the prosecution in charging him with homicide now, because that's just going to start the clock, and they are still doing searches and they're still trying to gather as much evidence as humanly possible. This also goes into another thing that I believed, and unfortunately it's going to be slightly graphic, which I try not to do when I talk about this case, but unfortunately there are just some graphic portions of it. After the last bond hearing, where the prosecution presented all of the evidence of him visiting various dumpsters at various times of night and dumping all these bags, a lot of people speculated that Mamta was in those bags and that she would now be in a landfill. I've never quite thought that was correct. I think that unfortunately there's a chance that there are parts in those bags. I think a lot of it is actually just other evidence though, and other things that may have been covered in blood. Everything I've heard about Naresh from people who know him and people who've interacted with him says that he's pretty lazy, and dealing with a body of somebody who's 130 pounds is not easy. And I could see him starting to do something like dismember her and then giving up when it got too hard. So this theory of her being in a body of water, I can see parts ending up in bags, and I can see maybe a lot of her just getting dumped in a body of water. And I'm sorry to even say that, but I really hope that these water searches are done soon. So we'll just leave it at that.